on my shoulders. I'm alive and I'm breathing, living my best life. Love is on my mind and it's making me high.
Women's bronze medal action coming at you live here from the beach in Royan, France. Myself, Hannah Penderbury, in the booth alongside Stef Pazzo, who you had a bit of an earlier roll call this morning, Stef, with some semi-finals in the open division. But it's a lighter load here for the rest out on the sands. Just the one game to focus on, and my oh my, Copenhagen Hucks must be feeling it from their semi-final yesterday against E6.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Unfortunate for them, they had the lead up until game point and let that one slip away. Now they're going to look for some redemption against Yaka, a team who's been very strong on the grass over the years. Started a bit slow this tournament, but have been getting better and better and peaking at the right moment. It's bound to be a heck of a battle here. They're obviously well matched at this stage of a tournament. And there's also a very interesting crossover here with Yaka, who is a regular member of the Yaka grass outfit, who is now playing against a lot of her teammates here in this bronze medal game in the women's action.
Well, we saw Kier having a couple of moments on defense yesterday in the semi-final against E6, who are, of course, in the big show later on today. And in terms of the faces on Yaka, there's a couple of folks that you really are used to seeing. Right at the top of that roster sheet, you've got Amand Babiquian, who was quite pivotal in the mid stages. Chinina as well, obviously dominating the backspace, and Emma Delaunay distributing all over the shop for Yaka. But in terms of their performance on our last live stream, we had them against E6. They really struggled to start. They couldn't even catch a cold, let alone a disc in the first couple of points, and let E6 really run away with that pool stages match. So hopefully they can come out with a bit more form. They only have this one match to focus on for the whole day. After that, they can just lay back, relax and enjoy the scenes. But who's going to be doing that with a bronze medal around their necks? Any early calls on this one, Stefan? Are you going to put your neck out?
I am not going to put my neck out there. I am not sure about this one. I think it's going to go down to the wire, and yep, I'll leave it to the players back at home to put their necks out there and decide who's going to win. Nico Perus already says Yaka.
Yes, do let us know where you're tuning in on our live stream from the comments. I tell you what, the intended target did not know that was coming, but Maya Milek did. Great shot from Olga Chinina, trying to expand into this near side of the pitch. But unfortunately, not a connection, and our first turnover of the game.
Maya Milek brings it back in for Copenhagen.
Smooth moves up the far sideline. Kier popping one a little bit risky to Milek, but that is a lovely shot into the deep space, and collecting it is Peterson.
Great reception there by Kramer. And deep, I mean, what you look for with her are deep runs for the end zone, and that's exactly what you get there. She's career highlights were here last year, EBUCC 2022, and she's trying to make a couple more this time around, and starting the game with the first goal of the game off the end of a huck. A great way to kick things off for Kramer and company for the Mighty Hucks. Not the Mighty Hucks, oh my goodness, the Copenhagen Hucks. As we get our stat man in the booth, Mr. Rabbit's helping out, getting these stats sorted for us. We're very grateful for his efforts with ULTI.TV in these days.
Absolutely, and the coach himself, I'm sure he'll have little nuggets of insight to feed into our colour commentary over the course of today. Certainly expecting that there might be a little bit of tired legs in Copenhagen Hucks. They had some really tight lines yesterday, having to rely on certain individuals to make good. Plenty of hand blocks, though, the likes of Maya Milek et al. But it's the French out here on offense. Yaka finds Babiquian. in the hand of space. A little bit of a tumble there, but no worries. Moving across now, Lakai. Oh, look at the denial there. Klebichka with the hand block.
And the casual turn away, as though she's been doing that since birth.
I think she basically has, Stefan. The young Pole coming across. Normally see her playing for Jogo Benito, who are, of course, not here. German Nationals is scheduled for the same weekend as a beach championship. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but Bubby can't get herself involved.
Oh, I love the way she attacks the disc.
A little bit of an offhand, backhand. Müller dishing something a bit curious in front.
A unforced error there, and Yaka's second chance to hold.
Babican far side has Meunier coming under. A little bit extra steps there on the through, but didn't make too much of an impact for Lakai. Now spinning around. Yell from the sideline is only backhand, but that's a lovely flick that's going to fall off of the hands of Armand Babican.
The regularly sure-handed receiver, but I'm pretty sure there was just enough of a defensive hand to that to, you know, make things that much more difficult for Armand Babican. A hand on it by the Copenhagen Hucks defender.
Early Huck that's very low. Layout just to secure the block for Babican.
To secure the block, but in doing it, she macked it up and gave the slightest potential chance for a second effort there, but getting up off the sand that quick would have been one heck of an effort.
So Yaka with the disc back in hand at about midfield.
Meunier sells that fake, had Cheblichka turned right around.
Lakai. Inside shot, love that, very slinky to Dubuis, but she overshoots just a touch. Melier Hébert trying to connect in the end zone.
Yeah, Hébert, not much of a chance there. The throw, too much on it. The high release, maybe not entirely necessary.
Huck out of the blocks. Lebrichka underneath it, fighting. Great lefty grab over the head of Meunier. And there we go, the final piece of the puzzle put together. Second point, and I believe a second break for Copenhagen Hucks.
You believe correctly. What a take by Cheblichka. Went up early, not necessarily in position for the later portions of that route. But when it mattered most, she took position and she sent out that go-go gadget arm and made sure there was no other option but Copenhagen Huck reception. There it is again. Wow, yeah, she did take that space away.
Well, I tell you what, there was a question posed as to whether Hucks would have the legs after having to grind their way through their semi-final matchup. Quite the illustrious comeback from E6 to snag it away at the very end. I know that a lot of the Hucks players were quite demoralized to see that one slip through their fingers like sand through an hourglass. There's plenty of it out here on the pitch, but they are looking like they have had plenty of sleep and plenty of breakfast. But this is much better form early stages from Yaka. Shanina reading that exquisitely. Has an option available, chooses the sneak through though, and sneaking through to deny the pass is Rika Kjær. There's going to be a chat with Delaunay though.
And those two are used to chatting in the same shirts, not in opposing shirts. So they should at least have a good level of tact in this conversation.
To be honest, Stefan, I've not really seen any kind of really overheated discussions out here on the beach. There have been a couple of curious spirit scores, I know, around the pitch site here in Royan, but generally speaking, Beach Ultimate, I think one of the more cordial of the surfaces.
Yes, I agree completely. Bad spirit not allowed around here. Don't even think about bringing it.
Well, you know, you get a little bit hot-headed, maybe a bit intense, and that's going to be an accepted foul from Kjær.
Speak for yourself. I've never played hot-headed.
But when you just look around yourself, you see the beautiful sands in Royan, the lovely sea, the lovely weather we've been having. And it's hard to be miserable or angry here. Delaunay striking up line, opens up the shot in the center. And then the beautiful around break from the palms of Flora Girard, opening up and claiming, at long last, a Yaka goal.
Yeah, Girard did well to make the reception first. I wasn't sure what option Delaunay was going to go with there. Seemed like she had Shanina on the ISO cam from the start and looked away to Girard late in the sequence. Girard then finished it off very easily. For the goal, here's another look at it.
Yeah, slight flattening out of the mark on the end zone line. Easy to get swallowed up in the sand on your ankles, but yeah, I quite prefer a more true force when you get to that situation. True force
and I mean broken coverage. Was that a break? I don't think so. That was open side, two steps away, or did the break come one throw earlier?
One throw earlier. That slicer right in the middle to get to Girard, I think, was that break throw initially. And then certainly a lot of separation if that was the open side. But that is a lovely put into the deep space. Chasing it down is Nur, but just making sure it still hits the dust is Cécile Meunier.
Yeah, she did good to just stay in front, to block out the route. It's not necessarily boxing out, but, you know, running the line in front.
It's a curious option, maybe just going for that early stage deep threat. But that's a lovely bit of defense, but the foul is going to be called by Mathilde. Sorry, it's Cécile even.
Meunier, which is a Miller in French.
Oh, so that's hold on. That's two Millers against each other, because Müller, I think, also is Miller in German.
Well, what do you know? We know that. We know two translations.
So, hold on, let's double check ourselves. Yeah, a person who works at Grain Mill. So it's Miller on Miller.
Or Meunier on Muller. And they're going to chat this one out here.
Well, they're certainly grinding up the sand underneath them. We had very wet conditions on Friday, but it's pretty much back to the golden, dusty, really difficult to explode out of conditions underfoot now.
And how about these conditions? Look at the flags. You'll see them in the back, just barely having a breeze blow through them. It's a beautiful day at the beach here in Royan.
It's a bit sticky, is what I'd say from walking over this morning. Babika looking for that inside shot. Connects it, but that's going to be a bit too much. Meunier rising high, but unfortunately clutching just empty air in her palm. And Jakobsen's going to pick it up. Threatening that inside break. Klibitschka all the way around if Müller wants her, but doesn't like it. They see a little head shake of nope, not the option. He's going to have to launch it into the end zone, but that is a mighty shapely disc for the goal.
Beautiful disc to finish that one off. An absolute zipper. Müller having a little chat with Babican after the action about, I don't know, the pivot slide, maybe travel. But beyond the point, the other point I'd like to mention just outside of that play is Jakobsen back with no neck bandana. Maybe it's, who knows if it's a matter of winning percentages at this stage.
Well, the absence of the bandana, I should say, because it's not really a lack, it's just a stylistic choice. It's showing that there's a lovely, silvery, glittering chain. So maybe that's the reason to kind of get that little bit of swagger out, that little bit of sort of, glittering action to match her thus far nigh on a flawless performance.
Could very well be right now. Her and her teammates looking the goods with that 3-1 lead up on Yaka.
Indeed. Not quite the slow start we saw yesterday morning for Yaka. They found a little bit more form early doors, but this is lovely match defense. Really smother cover, but opening up the space deep is Delaunay. Can she launch it? There isn't a bid. I think that was probably going to be too far anyway, Stefan, but, you know, on the live stream.
Yeah, too far, but no other options. There was nothing under. There was no one in the reset space. Chanina had the deep throw or the medium length throw in the same direction. So you might as well go for the winner if you're in a situation where, well, I got to bang it upfield or nothing.
What we lovingly refer to is that just chuck it in hope. Delaunay did have that space, but I think her defender knew better. That one was going way out of bounds.
Oh.
Good backup from Royan. Milek, looking casual beach outfit with the sunglasses. Horvang squeak down the line. Hammer over the top, though. Oh, yeah, we like a little bit of that. It's a bit too much for Kramer to hold on to, but
77 shirt can't hang on to that, but you know, that was I call those a sky hammer a little bit. It went way up and came down a bit heavy, but should have been handled. Horvang, first step is sensational. She blows open her defense in one step anytime she wants to.
yeah, people talk about the first 5 steps, but she doesn't need the other 4. Just ripping people left, right, and center. That's a big one. Expansive play into the space, and again, just a touch too far. Half a meter less than these ones, so maybe half a heartbeat release later, and those could actually be on the money and proper threats deep.
Yeah, that was, again, I actually think that was the right throw. That was the right place to put that. A little bit too much mustard on it, but going to the right place. Kjær there collects the deep the other way.
Yeah, a little bit of a riskier biscuit in terms of the length of Copenhagen. Hucks deep shots. Maya Malek game of pinball for one. Juggly action. We saw her be a very juggly girl yesterday, but not to the success of her team. Inside shot right across the back. Oh my goodness, Rikke Kjær staying on her knees in the sand to take a little break because that was mighty good.
Wow, what a pickup by Kjær. You talk about the bobble from Milek right before that. She might have even had a taste of that. I think it hit her right in the mouth possibly. But she collects, throws this one just a little out in front. Well, she throws the first one for Kjær here, where Kjær takes the big chunk of meters. And then as she dumps it back to Milek, there's the bobble. And here is the throw in front. Sorry, the throw in front, not from Milek, from Kramer. And what a grab. Look at the celebration, too. She's loving that. She doesn't mind putting those against her grass team because right now she's wearing that blue and purple shirt, and she's getting it done for the Hucks.
Well, do you really like it? Is it wicked? We are loving it, loving it, loving it. That was almost like the proper, like, you know, you see those stickers. Oh, my goodness. Babican.
Yeah, that throw a little bit off. Babican couldn't get moved quick enough, and now it's Hucks again with a short field.
Indeed, Copenhagen. Enviable. A gift even, Müller. A little jinking back and forth. No, now. Good work on the force to shut the door that was opening up for Hlibicka for the goal. Everybody getting in each other's way. There is a space right in the front, and there it is taken. Grażyna Hlibicka collecting the 5th goal of this game.
Yeah, they're having a really tough time guarding Jakobsen in the small space there. She's got the throws, obviously, so, you know, let's prevent her from touching the disc, but that is the more difficult asking right now. She is also a very strong cutter, good agility in this sand, and has some great lateral movement to get herself open in these small spaces and ensure that she's there to set up these assists.
Well, wherever you're tuning in from, please do give us a shout in the comments. We are delighted to have plenty of Yaka fans going on, but surely there's some Copenhagen love here.
I know these Yaka fans. They're both ISNO players. What up, Nico Perus, and who's that other guy?
Oh, some
he must have just started playing.
Player. Yeah, definitely.
Nasser Mbe Vogel. I make the same joke every time. One of the greatest veterans in the game.
It never gets old, though. He's such a household name. I'm honestly very impressed and committed to his whatever kind of prehab he does, because he seems to continuously play forever.
His physical regime is very impressive.
And of course, that is something that we're starting to see really emerge in the women's game as well. Plenty of female matching athletes get themselves in the weight room. And I tell you who actually, Rika Kjær at the back of this Copenhagen zone does do a lot of work in the gym.
She has transformed herself into a bit of a hammer axe herself. She's a weapon.
Absolutely, in the best way.
Oh, yes.
Big shot trying to connect with Shanina. There is pressure underneath, just straddling the tape. So not quite enough for the goal, but a little pass through to Amadou Babican. And that is going to seal a second point on the board, but my oh my at the moment.
And Aman Babican showing again why she will be considered by many to be the breakout player of the year. I think she's third on the stat sheet for Yaka at this tournament thus far. A couple on the board already in this game, including a goal and a block getter. And she's just, you know, being guarded by Horvang as well, who we've talked about her speed. Babican able to initiate and get the separation she needs to continue putting goals on the score sheet.
We can really see the exertion being required of Yaka's players as they sort of swagger themselves back onto the sideline in front of our booth. Babican there on our shot. Just a tender, I believe, 20 years old. She started playing when she was 15 through the schools program that the French Federation puts on. She's been playing for 5 years and certainly will go on to have quite the storied career if she stays with Ultimate.
Oh, she is going to stay with and have the storied career. I would count my chickens on that one.
And she'll be, of course, representing France later on this season at EUC. Lovely behind the back catch for Jakobsen. Sends it immediately into the back pocket of the end zone to Ellen Jakobsen. This is her surface.
Jakobsen, holy dooly, catching it off balance behind body. And then just turn around and dropping a dime to the end zone. 40-meter throw, 30-meter throw. Like it cost her nothing. Practically in the splits there. There it is again. And look at the shape on that. That is a dime dropped. Nothing left to do for the receiver but squeeze the hands for Duer.
Well, Jakobsen, even though being a Dane, has also had a part of her career in the German Federation, represented Germany women.
I'm pretty sure we saw Jakobsen as part of the Beach Championship women's team for Seagulls in the very first EBUCC, which that was one heck of a final we've referred to on more than one occasion. But
with good reason.
Yeah, a universe point mind bender, that one. So, yes, you're absolutely right. She has had some moments over there with some German sides.
So Yaka now really needing to hold on to the disc and not allow their opponents any more breaks. Currently trailing 3 and a complete miscommunication. Babican puts her hands out like, sorry, what? Shanina usually on the back end of those big passes, so maybe expanding herself a little bit too far in this game. But it's not quite finished yet, still plenty of game left to go. Milek around to Peterson, sends Babican flying. Horvang has Milek developing around, takes it. Hella Horvang looking dangerous in the deeps, coming back underneath. But the commitment is just to try and hit the around. Nice one out on a piece of string for Maya Milek to collect. Peterson. You can hear Rasta Alimondio yelling from the sideline, trying to play some help defense, even though she's not appearing on the field. Although she does have some fantastic sunburn from yesterday. Big one across from Peterson, casual one-handed grab, and the dink into the end zone for Horvang. And that is some nicely woven together offense.
Yeah, good use of the width of the field there. They went sideline to sideline on a couple of occasions. Most certainly on the scoring effort there. They went from far side to near side. There's another look at Rasta, still getting a touch somehow, even though she's not involved in this game in a playing capacity. But it's Horvang again, the 11 shirt with the goal, making sure that her blazing speed goes to good use. And Milik finds her for the goal. Here's another look of that lateral attack. There's Horvang opening it up. And another goal in the books for her.
Well, nice to see some class offense from Copenhagen Hucks, and also a delight to see Mondio in that sun hoodie.
Yes, yes.
Keeping her, so yes, she has a fantastic, I'm sure, tan line this morning from catching some real strawberry action with the Yaka tank that she was strutting down on the sidelines with. Of course, just being mindful of how long her season is going to be this year. But I have to say, Stefan, the tournament stash here at EBUCC, and there's not really any left of it in the tent because I think everyone raided it whilst the Thunder and Lightning Storm was going on Friday.
Yeah,
looking mighty slick.
Yeah, VC Look Fly got rid of their gear pretty immediately. They were maybe a bit the only ones that were thankful for the Lightning Storm.
Well, coming out into the second half here, Hucks on offense. So this will be just putting in their hold. First time they've come out on offense in a little while. Müller pops around to Klibichka. Jakobsen, oh, look at that. A laser diagonally across the pitch, straight into the hands of Clara Carlson.
And that's a 2-for-1 into the second half. Score to end the half, score to start the half, and that is some big separation right now. Yaka with a mountain to climb.
And pretty fast work as well. Clean and easy does it. Just 9 passes required to get themselves into that end zone. And I have to say now we had the first point was a break. So the current tally for Copenhagen Hucks is they are leading 6 over their opponents in terms of breaks. So Yaka are going to have to pull off some kind of inhuman performance to shut down this flow for Copenhagen. But it all starts with just the hold. Delaunay watching the disc into her hands from the pull. Excellent fielding to get it towards that front line. Janine, a low clap catch, laying out. Celebration from the sideline to support Lacaille. Pick in the center of the field, things looking a little bit clustered.
Yeah, a little bit clustered. The Delaunay came in late. Lamercier didn't have many options. If you look now, even the way they were there, just all 4 Yaka players in the upfield place. You could put a 5-meter box around them, 3-meter box around them.
Well, a bizarre scene, that stoppage, and then an immediate turnover. High grab, Verkehr just holds on to it. Nice movement up line. Can they get that straight one? Oh, tell you what, Rika Horvang put it on the burners, but it's going to be overshot, a rare error. And a gift opportunity for Yaka to try and punch in this hold. Everyone coming under. Horvang poaching off, causing confusion, and Lacaille can't connect. Milek, casual toss back. Rika Horvang with nobody anywhere near. Here we go. Here comes the mark to try and apply pressure and stop those lovely dusty hammers. Here we go, though. That's going to be a goal for sure. Nothing that Emma Delaunay can do, just throw her hands up with 2 Hucks players underneath it.
Yeah, the 79 shirt cashing that goal in. Pietursson, she got into some nice space on the far side and honored with the hammer, the auto breaker. Going over top's the easiest way to break, but maybe the the more difficult option to keep on target, the option that the weather can take a bit of advantage of. But today, there's not too much weather that's going to do you much harm. You do see those flags blowing. We're going to take a little timeout anyways, and we'll be right. Well, they're taking the timeout. We'll take a break with them.
July from Nottingham, England, the World Flying Disc Federation's World Under-24 Ultimate Championships. Live all-access coverage, including semis and finals, exclusively at ULTIworld.com.
Women's second half of the bronze medal match. We occasionally lovingly refer to that bronze medal as a dirty gold, just because it has that feeling of a gold. You know, you get to finish your tournament on a win. At the moment, it's Copenhagen Hucks looking in extremely fine fettle. Stef Pazzo sat next to me. What's your take on what Yaka need to do?
They need to do a whole lot right now. I mean, the plain and simple is they need to get breaks. They need to get their defense on the field and get their defense playing efficiency. Right now, Chanina in a good spot for BUBCC's Huck.
Well, we love to see those two connecting in that particular order. Chanina, in the early stages of this game, had a couple of miscues with BUBCC when she had the disc looking for the youngster in the end zone or just the deep pockets of the pitch.
Yeah, the dirty bronze on offer, the petit final, as it's known in French, the little final, is what they're playing here for the bronze medal. And so they've got their defense on the field. How are they going to slow down this Hucks offense? That is what it is. They haven't really been blowing the doors open with Hucks, but they've been using them here and there. They've had a nice varied attack, maybe some kind of transition defense, a little bit of take the Hucks away early and then try and play the underneath on the shorter field. I'm not sure what they need to do. I mean, I think the crude way of saying it would be, I'm not even going to go there.
Well, I think the key thing is you get your matchups right in terms of who you're putting on the likes of the star athletes on offense. So, you know, you need people that are rapid as it gets on Helle Royan, who's just running away from Delaunay with relative ease, but yeah, maybe some sort of forced middle to try and stop those upline strikes.
Yeah, they seem to be maintaining a regular match one direction. I haven't noticed if they're switching marks on the bouncing off the sideline. Oh, no, they are.
And some switch offs actually to stifle these deep cuts. We saw Hucks put on some fantastic switch match coverage against E6 yesterday in the semi-final, so maybe take a leaf out of their opponent's books.
And they are definitely in an FM, a forced middle.
Well, it does seem to be slowing down Hucks' offense. They are sort of advancing down the pitch, clearly favoring to kind of, you know, push Hucks a little bit under after some of those big shots, make the pass count higher, and there we go. It delivers a turnover.
Yeah, I like what they did there. I mean, it's what you suggested more than what I was thinking, but the forced middle just took away the sideline options. They were bouncing back to the middle. I'm very much repeating what you said, but the increased stall count, they just switched to a one-way force, 2 throws before that turnover, and making them overthink with the increased amount of throwing, and one just got away.
Chanina turns and activates Delaunay. who's got some turquoise glitter on today rather than the feisty, fiery, ready, yellowy look she had yesterday to match the jersey. We're going for a contrast today, not matching the jersey, but a frustrated high stall pass is going to sail out of bounds quite quickly.
Yeah. Girard motioning back to her flank, Delaunay, that I needed you giving me something more, a little bit more action, a little bit more back and forth in the dump space. I felt like I had nothing to look at, and hence the throw to no one really. Just put it behind the stack and took a little bit of field position, which seems to be negated right now because it would have went out a bit earlier.
Well, it's not the first time in this match that it seems like Copenhagen Hucks have just buried their opponents in the sand, but that one, hammer over the top from Helle Royan.
Yeah, she had a cheeky smile on as she wound that one up and just didn't get it to go the way that smile was hoping.
Well, that's the second hammer that hasn't quite worked off for Copenhagen Hucks when they've had the disc. My Alex suddenly says, I think it's better of picking that one up for the fast break. I think maybe that tiredness starting to creep in a little bit, but they've got plenty of cushion that Yaka are going to have to rip out from under them if they're going to snag that win for this bronze medal. Low break underneath from Pietersen. Foul upfield. So a defensive foul, that will come back in on 0 for the mark of Janina. Violation, everyone getting too hasty. Nice switching early from Yaka to prevent the first pass to Kjær. Kramer having to go all the way around, just chucking it towards the end zone. It's Blady and it's just going to fall directly in the middle to nobody. That was lovely defense from Yaka.
Yeah, they're in desperation time, tightened things up and forced that throw into a space where no one was going to get it. So Delaunay will bring it back, looking up the whole length of the field in the other direction.
Huge ball going deep. Janina is such a threat in the air, reads it perfectly, loses the hat, firing across to Kathy Alfonso and then going to collect the goal. A little jump over, but Kjær says nope. You had possession with that back foot still down. She's going to go for the same piece of work. Just trying to grind herself open. Delaunay up the line, just about catches it in front of Freya Pietersen.
Yaka needed that one, and they made it happen. Janina catches every disc above her head in the same manner. 2 hands, locked elbows, crab catch. She is very good at using the full length of her body. With it, like to get the one-hand catch, you kind of go up off balance. You throw one side up, so she could maybe get a centimeter or 2 higher every now and again if she went for the one-hand catches. But her the certainty she puts in taking these is what she values most and what she can do. And she just goes up in a cylindrical manner, takes the elevator up with both hands leading the way, and comes down with it more often than not.
Well, the thing I do like, as you say, you maybe could get a centimetre or half kind of by going up with that one arm. But the nice thing about going up with the 2, especially with the 2, you always want to have the 2-footed jump underneath you, regardless of whether you're going with 1 or 2. But actually, by really holding that position, keeping the shoulders level, she actually denies her opponents the ability to kind of sneak through and sort of slither their way to a defensive block because she's got that space locked out. But underneath, Clara Carlson for Copenhagen Hucks pops through to Klibicka. Hasnut racing underneath, but this is lovely match coverage. Yaka trying to force Hucks to throw over the top. Oh my goodness, what a great layout
That was magnificent. You know, some crossing traffic there. The potential for collision existed, but I think both players saw each other coming, so it was a matter of whoever had the step had to let the other back away, and Yaka benefited from that. What a great bid.
Absolutely. That was a throw for Julie Bernard. Sort of match up, so she had every right to go and make that play into the space. Lacaille, opportunity here. This would be a real difference maker. Oh, Armand Babiquin signals the turnover. That was just a little bit too much. But we were so busy talking about Olga Shanina's fantastic reception, Steph. We forgot to mention that last score, of course, was a break. So Yaka looking for their second hit, trying to get these matchups right and squeeze the unders. Jakobsen. Levichka trying to get open in front, but not to be face marking from Babiquian. Exploited though, Müller. That lefty coming unglued. Meunier saying, I would like to throw a deep shot. Who's up for it? Babiquian is, but there's the block from Müller. Bit too much dialed in.
Yeah, a little bit too telegraphed. I mean, I'm going to throw this practically vocally by Meunier. And Müller just in too good of a position. I go back to the throw from Jakobsen inbounding basically from sideline to center to Meunier, the other Müller. Yeah. But the nonverbal communication, that head nod was just fantastic to open it up.
Carlson on the far sideline. Looking a little bit lost for options. Might have to be a high stall. It is. That's a really nice option, though. No, with the read.
Oh, lordy, lordy. That was a beautiful throw outside in. A little bit just against the breeze that's slowly picking up, but well weighted to float into the hands of the awaiting receiver there. That's Noor with the goal. And Hucks, as much as Yaka put up some great resistance with that break, had another opportunity, had possession on this last point for another chance. Hucks hold their medal and throw a nice one in from a sideline leader. That looks like it was the 79 shirt with the assist, Pitjorsen.
Well, that's a really nice way to score. Christina Noor picking up that goal. She's been playing for 10 years. A Danish Masters representative as well. He started playing because of just a bunch of friends in Copenhagen encouraged her too. I feel like we could probably grow the women's division significantly if everybody just brought all of their female friends to come and play. This sport sort of speaks for itself. Le Mercier, though, on the far sideline with, just a complete failure to launch.
Flubbed it.
Slowly sauntering over to the disc is Kjær. Immediately threatens that inside channel, but pops back. Ulrike Roorvang finds her sister. Helle doesn't get tempted. Oh, look at the elevator over the top. My, oh my, that was nice.
Love a pop pass. I mean, the upside down passes, hammers and scoobers are the glory throws, generally speaking. That's what the fans love. That's what you want. But I don't know. I've got such a soft spot for a nice looking, well-weighted backhand pop pass, elevator pop pass. They're so good at floating open space, like giving yourself time and space, trusting your receiver to be in the only place available. Here's another look.
We'll talk about time and space. The time and space that Ulrike Roorvang, we talked about Helle's sort of first step, that initial acceleration out the blocks, but Ulrike Roorvang also a dynamic and speedy athlete. And that pass was so on just because she was so free, Stefan.
Time and space and a bit of grace. They look almost like ballerinas out there releasing the high release pop passes. You get a little bit of that in the scuba too. It's a bit more of an elegant throw, but I love the mechanical delivery of a pop pass.
And watching those two sisters connect is a thing of delight that we're treated to fairly frequently. I have to say, watching the Royan sisters and their compatriots in the Danish national team in Lithuania last season, when we covered every single game from the women's division, was what helped me through some of those consolidation bracket moments where I was commentating all alone. But they are really just such a joy to watch out here. But Janina holding on to that Frisbee, trying to select her shot downfield, squeaks it low and cannot reach Emma Delaunay. But that was a high stall option. The matchups are right for Copenhagen Hucks. Big one into the end zone. Carlson underneath it. Babi Kjan has a go, but can't quite deny Kara Clausen.
Oh, Babi Kjan. I mean, Carlson got that goal. Kudos to her. Just made it that much more interesting with Babi Kjan coming with a head full of steam there. She's throwing herself around in a wonderful way. But Hucks not to be denied again, despite the sensational defense. Chablitska's throw does count. There's another look. Oh, jeez. And the 15 shirt of Clara Carlson cashes in the goal, and they're within one right now. This is a big separation for a bronze medal match. We have seen the Copenhagen Hucks snatch defeat from the jaws of victory only yesterday. Yeah. But that was a 2-point gap with game point. I don't know that this...
I'm going to be bold, Stefan. I'm saying,
gap.
Yeah, they're not going to shut them down for 9 in a row. I really do not see that at the moment. It's commiserations to that bid from Babi Kjan, but at the moment, it really is looking like Copenhagen Hucks Day. Big shout out to Kara Clausen, by the way. She's made 2 national teams, but both were cancelled because of COVID. So one to watch for us in the future.
You asked at the top who I had in this, and I said the Hucks, right?
No, you try. We're of course very neutral. We just want the most exciting game possible. And in the late stages, we're hoping Yaka can really try and shine through. They did manage to grab themselves a break in the midsection of the second half. That's a lovely put from Janina, but spooked is Julie Binard.
And things are just not falling Yaka's way now. They're getting a little bit outplayed, and now luck's bouncing against them too when they are open and take the right choices. A couple mechanical errors going against them, and when it rains it pours a little bit, both that momentum going in the positive and the negative.
Well, in the early stages, it was overshooting. That one a little bit undercooked, trying to hit Binard, who, of course, had that sensational layout block earlier stages. That one's going to sail, though, over the frame of Caroline Kramer. Kramer in the number 77, who's started playing Ultimate in high school back in the day for the EBUCC Møn, and was based in Auckland. And this will be representing Denmark for the first time this season. Later on in Limerick, but it's French disc at the moment. Shanina. Easy casual pass to Girard. It doesn't have to be flashy, doesn't have to be fancy. Lakai sort of moving towards the mark, even though she had that swing available. Oh, and great defense. A little bit of touching, but all fair. Freya Pietersen with the block. Yeah, great defense there, but also Mercier, her cut just slowed down as she went into the closing space there. She wasn't sure, she was engaged, and you got to make the cut at full speed, irregardless of whether you're engaged or not. If you're not, get out of there. But that time, her half-speed third and fourth steps there helped the defense get in front. Yeah, it's a little bit too much cycling through from the backspace left. Yaka without any sort of real reset options available. But this is nice flow, good timing from Copenhagen Hucks, just keeping it alive. Royan, back to Pietersen. Has a think about that inside break shot, but decides better of it. Has an easy one across, but it's going to be a little bit too fiery to hit Caroline Kramer.
That bronze medal on offer, but they're not rushing their way into the end zone to go take it, giving Yaka one more chance to extend the game. Girard from her own corner.
Ooh, Royan looking dangerous there, coming towards, but well held. That guy opens up a beautiful shot. Oh my goodness, just not quite well read.
Yeah, I mean, not quite well read, just a little bit off. I felt beautiful too. I think the throw was just a little bit too direct, a bit more shape on it would have, really made it beautiful, perfect. But yeah, a bit unfortunate there again for Yaka. It was almost as good as you get, and they still don't get away with it. And
yeah, I can understand why the release was that way, wanting to have it fade to that soft side where the defender isn't. But Shanina did have steps. I reckon, I'm with you, Steph. They could have put that a little bit more out to the right. But Milek with the disc in hand. Is it going to be an early deep shot? They've been challenging so much. Nope, it's going to be a timeout. So in our first match point of this game, the athletes on the pitch are going to take a brief break, as will we. We'll be back with the dying moments of this bronze medal match after these messages.
For the first time ever, from the golden sandy blankets of Portimao, Portugal, BULA and ULTI.TV bring you the World Beach Ultimate Club Championship 2024. The best club teams in the world will converge on the Portuguese Algarve. With expectations for upwards of 150 teams, this promises to be a tournament worth bucket listing. Whether on the sands or watching the action from your screen, WBUCC 2024 is a tournament not to be missed.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Welcome back to the last gasping moments of this women's bronze medal match. At the moment in front with a commanding lead, 12-4, Copenhagen Hucks and the superstar Maya Milek with her disc in her hand behind that Yaka huddle. They will have been.
Or are they the last gasping moments? This could be the beginning, Hannah. The 9-in-a-row run.
Well,
no, I do see it the same way you do, but it may well not be. There is time for extension. There is potential for extension.
Well, we've had to push back the schedule of this tournament for Thunder and Lightning, and that would be an absolute stormer if this one went the opposite direction to the current advantage that Copenhagen Hucks have deservedly earned themselves over the course of this game. Rika Royan, no one sort of looking for that timing off the back of that lovely upline cut. Maya Milek, oh, throwing a low one, just about collected by Royan. Has the nod to go into the deep space, but that one's going to sail. Can it be backed up? Oh, Shanina just peeling off the back of the stack to ensure that that becomes a Yaka disc once more. So picking us up, Flora Girard. Nice toss. Oh, you could see there was a little bit of touch for Lakai. Milek picking up, wanting to close this one out and claim that third place podium finish. Had Kramer going into the deep space, but Royan wants to be conservative, wants to make sure. Is that going to be goal? It is a lovely around break from Maya Milek. She raced away from her defender, pops in that final bronze medal clinching pass to Caroline Kramer. And that, folks, is the end of this one.
That's a match. It's all wrapped up. Yaka, things didn't go their way at all, and that's because it was a downhill steamrolling for the Copenhagen Hucks. They had it all sorted out after letting one slip away yesterday. They did not want anything of the sort to have potential today, and they took that one away from beginning to end. Clinical performance by the Copenhagen Hucks. I mean, looking at the player stats here, Chablitska, 2 goals, 2 assists, and a block to counter only 1 sole turnover. Muller, 2 blocks to sort her day in, and Hella Horvang with a goal and an assist. Otherwise spread out well. And I think one more on the assist side that needs mention is Ellen Jakobsen, 4 assist day for her. And yeah, it was a nice, easy looking finish for Copenhagen Hucks after squandering one yesterday for the big shiny final. They take care of business. No trouble at all here for the bronze.
Well, yeah, a topsy-turvy performance here on the sand for Yaka. They had some brilliant games. They had some less brilliant games. And today, it just wasn't their day. We saw a big, as you've said, Stefan, a full team effort from Copenhagen Hucks. Stats across the board, action across the board, and they'll be very pleased with their performance. But stay with us, folks. We are bringing you finals day all day here. Switching to the mixed division, we're going to have Ukraine mix versus Korakota, which is looking to be an absolute thriller and spiller. But we'll give you a brief moment to go grab yourself a refreshment before that game starts. But we will be right back. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.